What's up, my people? Oh wow, what a crazy few days it's been. I've been up and down to Cornwall. I've been coaching. I've been selling boards. It's all kicked off over the last couple of days. So let's start with earlier in the week. I was doing some dinghy coaching for a young lad in a fever. He's getting on great. He's a high performance sailor and he competes and stuff. So the lesson obviously changes when it's from beginner to intermediate to advanced, and this guy's obviously advanced. We had a great sailing session actually. It was upwards of 15 knots. And we were getting the spinnaker out, blasting downwind, doing some upwind sailing, and yeah, I think our main focus was actually really about using the spinnaker. We were switching around crew and helm, so I think it's always a good idea to switch up crew and helm, even if you are religious in the fact that you want to be a helm. I think it's actually a good idea to have a go at crewing as well, so you get to know how it works being a crew and what's expected of you being a crew, so that also when you're helming you know what the crew should be doing, or you know what's things that are difficult, so you can have sort of empathy for your crew in that respect. So I think it is like a really good idea to do both. And yeah, he was getting on really well. One of the hard things with using a spinnaker in high winds is that in sort of medium winds you're trying to trim that spinnaker as much as possible, and that's what I was teaching him to do. But in the high winds, when you trim the spinnaker, it's a little bit more sensitive, so that folding over the top corner, if you fold it over too much you're going to lose the whole spinnaker. So I was kind of teaching him the fact that you want to keep the spinnaker consistently up. If you're not trimming, it's not the end of the world, just as long as it's up, and then once you're keeping it consistently up, then you can then start to think about trimming. But yeah, that was good. That went well. So it was just a couple of sessions over 2 days, 2 half-day sessions, and then I was back in the shop, and we got a call from a guy down in Newquay, and he was interested in buying a board. A couple of days passed, and he became really interested in buying this big 10-man sup. So he wanted to deliver it for the next day because he wanted it to set it up before the weekend, because he wanted it for the weekend. And essentially it came to, so what's the day? It's something like Friday today. What was it? Yeah, it must be Friday today, and he wanted it on Thursday. So we were rushing around on Wednesday. We were trying to get a courier to send it out, and we were like running around everywhere trying to find someone that would send this parcel, bearing in mind that it was over 50 kg, so super heavy parcel, and we wanted a next day delivery, so we were kind of limited on our options. We were asking a lot of people, and yeah, they just they could deliver, or they couldn't have the trucks, the different people that we asked. But so I went into the post office, right, and this woman, I asked her, do you send parcels, big parcels? And I just gave sort of a vague question. She was like, well, no, we don't send parcels, we deliver them. I was like, well, yeah, same difference. We don't send parcels, we deliver them. Great, thanks. Next. I was like, yeah, okay, sure. I'm trying to get a parcel delivered by the next day, and it's over. Well, it's around 50 kg. She's like, no, sorry, we don't send parcels. We don't deliver parcels over 30 kg. I was like, all right, fine, cool, and I was pretty much ready just to go. And I was like, do you know anyone that maybe potentially does do that over a certain weight? And she was like, no, sorry, you're gonna have to talk to someone else about that. I was like, great, really helpful, thank you very much. Yeah, so we got out of there and went to a bunch of different places, but we couldn't find a courier. Long story short, I actually ended up just saying, you know what, I'm just going to take it down to these guys, because I think it was really important for these guys to get their sub, because this was a new school, a new centre that we hadn't been in contact before, and I think the connection was more worth it than the actual sale. So I was thinking sort of a bit outside the box, you know, just like I was going to send it down there, even if it took a hit on us or me in terms of both the time and the cost of the delivery, but sent it down there. Literally drove 4.5 hours down to Falmouth, stayed with my grandmother, and delivered it to Newquay in the morning to the guy that runs it there, and he was super happy. It was really good to scope out the area as well as a potential place that we could look into to doing future business in the future. So it was nice to just check out the area, check out the centre, see what they're about, talk to the guy that owns it, see what they're trying to do, explain to him what we're trying to do, and trying to just make connections. You know, I think connections is so important, especially in business. Trying to make those early connections, and he was definitely interested in getting some more boards, which was absolutely great. And whether we want to do trips down there in the future, it's definitely more of a possibility now that we've gained that connection, and I think that was a really good experience. So then I travelled back that same day, 4.5 hours, and that got me to about 2 o'clock coming back here. Had a little bit of traffic, but got here, and I had some windsurfing lessons lined up, so I quickly gathered some kit together, and carried out some lessons. So we had two young girls learning windsurfing, not for the first time. They were just improving some of the skills they learned before, and they were getting on really well. It was nice, westerly, so nice cross shore, out from the beach and back, so we could just focus on just going out, doing a manoeuvre, like trying to tack around or jibe around, and then come back to the same point. And they were getting on really well. And then I had another lesson after that with another young lad that I've been teaching for a while. He's getting on great, which is good. It was super windy actually, which made it a little bit more interesting, but it was good that they already had developed skills, so that they could actually windsurf quite nicely in those conditions. And so it was pretty much non-stop, and I'm fully loving it actually, just like fully going for it, making use of every hour of the day, and just constantly going. You know, it just feels really good to just keep going, keep the momentum up, and getting stuff done.